Hello all, welcome to Genius channel. We are going to discuss some physics questions from NDA to 2021. NDA to 2021. Okay. So we are going to see the physics questions. Okay. So see the question number 114. Buoyancy is an A or an. Buoyancy is A or an. Options: upward pressure, downward force, upward force. Very easy question. So what is the answer? Yes, buoyancy is an upward force. Buoyancy is an upward force. That is a very basic question, isn't it? Because we have that is coming in your 9th standard NCERT. Before that also you're studying. But as I've already told you, we basically have to read class 9 and 10 physics thoroughly. So this is from your 9th standard, isn't it? So buoyancy, what is buoyancy? So if we have some liquid, we are trying to immerse something into, let's are trying to immerse some object into the water. What does we feel? We feel like the water is exerting an upward force, isn't it? Water is exerting an upward force, and that force is known as buoyancy. Understood? So when we try to immerse an object partially or fully in a liquid, we feel like the liquid itself is exerting a pressure on the object, and that exerting a force on the object, and that force is what? That force is in the upward direction. So that's why we feel like the body is weightless, isn't it? So the answer is upward force. So buoyancy is the upward force the liquid exerts on a body which we try to immerse into the liquid. And on what factor actually the buoyancy depends? Yeah, buoyancy is obviously it's a force, isn't it? So if the liquid is more denser, the buoyancy will be high. If liquid is more denser, the buoyancy will be high. So here we don't need to look into those things. We have to just answer like what is buoyancy? Is it upward pressure, downward force, or upward force? So we know it is an upward force. Okay. So that is the answer for question number 114, option D. So going to the next physics questions. Next physics question. Question number 115. Weight and mass of an object are defined with Newton's law of motion. Which among the following is true? Weight and mass of an object are defined with Newton's law of motion. Which among the following is true? Options: weight is a constant of proportionality. Mass is a constant of proportionality. Mass is not a constant of proportionality. Weight is a universal constant. So which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? Okay. So what they're saying, Newton's law of motion. Okay. So what are the 3 laws first of all? So the first law, so I'm just going through the laws also. First law is law of inertia. First law is law of inertia. Second law gives the relation F is equal to ma. Third law, to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction, isn't it? So these are the 3 laws. So first law is law of inertia. What is law of inertia? Law of inertia means every body remains in its state of rest or of uniform motion unless it is acted upon by an external force, isn't it? So that is law of inertia. Next is second law, that is F is equal to ma. That means rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the applied force. From that we derive the equation for force. F is equal to ma. Then third one, equal and opposite reaction. To every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So what is this law they are mentioning here? That is the second law. F is equal to ma. So we'll go to that. F is equal to ma. So suppose there is a body, this is earth, and there's a body. The earth pulls everybody with a force, isn't it, towards it with an acceleration due to gravity. That means we have F is equal to mg, and that force is itself known as its weight. So weight of a body is mass into acceleration due to gravity, isn't it? So actually what is weight? Weight is the force with which a body is pulled towards the earth, isn't it? Weight is the force using which the earth pulls a body towards it. Okay. Then it should be, acceleration should be g. Then weight is equal to what? We know weight is equal to mg. That is just this formula. Force is weight m, then g is acceleration due to gravity. Now, if we are going to any other planet, for example, we are going to any other satellites or planet only, what happens? That will be also pulled towards it with an acceleration due to gravity of that planet, isn't it? So we can say acceleration due to gravity is changing. Weight is also changing. So what is a constant of proportionality? Mass, isn't it? Mass is constant everywhere. Mass is constant everywhere. Mass is constant everywhere. What happens to weight? Weight changes according to the planet or place, we can see. That depends actually on the acceleration due to gravity of that planet or that satellite or anything. So mass is constant everywhere. Okay, so just write the definition of mass also. Mass is the amount of matter. Mass is the amount of matter. Mass is the amount of matter contained in any body, isn't it? Mass is the amount of matter contained. Amount of matter contained in a body. That is mass. Okay. So here what is constant? Weight is not constant. G is not constant. Mass is constant. So mass is a constant of proportionality. In whichever planet you go, whichever place you go, mass will be same. So mass is the constant of proportionality. Moving to the next question. Question number 116. Question number 116. Fundamental laws of physics require conservation of energy and non-conservation of charge, conservation of charge and non-conservation of linear momentum, conservation of charge and non-conservation of energy, conservation of energy, momentum, and charge. So what is the answer? Yes, obviously the answer is option D, conservation of energy. Conservation of energy, momentum, and charge. Okay. So law of conservation of energy, which we study from smaller classes, isn't it? Law of conservation of energy. So what is law of conservation of energy? Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So that is first law, that is law of conservation of energy. Now what about conservation of momentum? That also we have studied. Momentum before collision and after collision. Suppose we have two bodies, they collide, isn't it? They collide. Then momentum before collision is equal to momentum after collision. Then third one, yeah, conservation of charge. Charge is always conserved. Charge is always conserved. Charge is always conserved. Okay, so fundamental laws of physics requires Conservation of energy, momentum and charge. You see, no? Yes. So moving to the next question. Question number 117. Question number 117. Work is said to be 1 joule when a force of work is said to be 1 joule when a force of, so options are given. 4 Newton moves an object by 25 centimeter. 2 Newton moves an object by 1 centimeter, 1 meter. 1 Newton moves an object by 1 centimeter. 1 Newton moves an object by 50 centimeter. So which one is the correct one? Okay, let's see. So we have to find the work, isn't it? Work is said to be 1 joule, isn't it? Work is 1 joule. So work, we know what is the equation? Fs, isn't it? Force into displacement. Work is equal to force into displacement. So see here, we need to get 1 joule, isn't it? So here we have 4 Newton. So force is 4. Displacement, what is force into displacement? Displacement is what? 25 centimeter. That means 0.25 meter, isn't it? So 4 Newton into 0.25 meter, what you get? You'll get 1 joule. 1 joule. So that is the correct answer. So only we need the basic equation. W is equal to Fs. Now, see the second option. Let's check. Work is equal to F into S. So 2 into 1. So that is 2 joule. Third one, work is equal to F into S, isn't it? So F is 1 centimeter. Displacement means 1 by 100. Okay. So that is 0.01 joule. Then last one, work is equal to 1 into 50. That is 0.5. So that is 0.5 joule. So answer is 4 Newton moves an object by 25 centimeter. Okay. So one thing you have to remember is whenever you do any small problems or any problem, what happens, what you have to do is you have to make that into SI unit and do. Then only you will be getting the correct answer. Okay, so here I need 1 joule. So 4 into 25 centimeter means I need to convert that into meter. So that is 0.25. So 4 into 0.25, that is 1 joule. Going to the next question. Question number 118. Question number 118. A uniform motion of a car along a circular path experiences. A uniform motion of a car along a circular path experiences. So they are given the options: a change in speed due to a change in its direction of motion, change in velocity due to a change in its direction of motion, a change in momentum due to no change in its direction of motion, a constant momentum due to a change in its direction of motion. Read the statements correctly and tell me which is the answer. You can comment the answers. So what is the answer? Option B, a change in velocity due to a change in its direction of motion. So what happens? A car is moving in a circular path. So suppose I'm taking this point. Suppose I'm taking this point. What will be its direction? If a car is here, its direction will be like this, isn't it? Suppose the car is here, its direction will be like this. Car is here, its direction will be like this. car is here, direction will be like this. So what happens? Direction is changing, isn't it? Direction of motion is changing. So direction of motion is changing, direction of motion is changing, isn't it? Here they are saying no direction change, isn't it? No direction is changing. Okay, so that is not correct. That is wrong because direction is changing. Now we have to check the options. Change in speed, change in speed. See, change in speed due to change in direction of motion. So speed is a scalar quantity. Speed is a scalar quantity. That means it do not have any direction. We don't have to consider the direction. Speed do not have any direction. So change in speed due to change in direction, that is wrong. The statement is wrong. Now, this statement is also wrong. Last statement, see, constant momentum due to change in its direction of motion. Constant momentum is the momentum constant that we cannot say, isn't it? So here the answer is change in velocity due to change in direction of motion. So already they are saying uniform motion. So value of velocity will be same only, but its direction is changing, isn't it? So velocity changes because of the direction change. Okay. So that is the correct answer. And we'll always call a uniform circular motion as an accelerated motion. We call it as an accelerated motion. Uniform circular motion is an accelerated motion. Why? Because its direction changes. Because its direction changes. Okay, so here the answer is option B. So moving on to the next question. Yeah. Read the question number 190. Question number 190. Three equal resistors are connected in parallel configuration in a closed electrical circuit. Then the total resistance in the circuit becomes. Three equal resistors are connected in parallel configuration in a closed electrical circuit. Then the total resistance in the circuit becomes. Options: 1/3 of the individual resistance, 2/3 of the individual resistance, equal to the individual resistance, 3 times that of the individual resistance. We have to find which is the correct option. Just check. Very easy, very direct. So what is the answer? Yes. 1/3 of the individual resistance. 1/3 of the individual resistance. So what they are saying is they are connecting three equal resistors. Three equal resistors parallelly, isn't it? Three equal resistors parallelly. So R, R, R. So what is the total resistance? 1 by R is equal to 1 by R plus 1 by R plus 1 by R. That is 3 by R. That is, see here, parallel. So 1 by RP is equal to 3 by R. So what is RP? RP is equal to R divided by 3. RP is equal to R divided by 3. That means 1/3 of the individual resistance. 1/3 of the individual resistance. So we don't have to do this again every time. So as I've already taught in the class, if n resistors are connected in parallel, if n equal resistors are connected in parallel, then the total resistance will be R divided by N. If N resistors are connected in parallel, then the total resistance will be, or equivalent resistance will be, R by N. If N equal resistors are connected in parallel, the equivalent resistance of the circuit will be R by N. Now, if N resistors are connected in series, of same value, N equal resistors are connected in series what happens? Then the total resistance Rs is equal to N into R. Then total resistance Rs is equal to N into R, N times. Okay. So here it is parallel. So it is R by 3. So answer is option A. Answer is option A. So again, concluding. So here the answer is 1/3. So if N resistors are connected in parallel, N resistors of equal value connected in parallel, total resistance of the circuit will be R by N. If N resistors are connected in series of equal value, then the value will be N into R. Okay. So here the answer is 1/3 of the individual resistance, because here it is in parallel. Okay. So what I have to say, what I need to say is you have to be thorough with 9th and 10th NCRT. 9th and 10th NCRT textbook. 9th and 10th NCRT textbook. Then you will be able to solve 90% of the questions from your NBA paper. Okay, so 9th and 10th NCRT textbook is a must for your NBA exam. Science textbook. Okay, so only some topics you need to refer from the 11th and 12th. Okay, so thank you all. We'll be seeing with some more questions in the next class. Thank you.